Okay, so now in this video we're gonna work on the mouse sensitivity. For that, you can open up this controls options in which we have the mouse X and mouse Y. Alright, as you know that mouse X is our camera look speed, which is from the left to right, and then the mouse Y is our pivot speed, which is from bottom to up. So now for that we need to create variables. So right here in the main menu script we're gonna add a range from 0.1 f to 0.3 f. Okay, and I've added these values specifically because I've tested, and 0.1 is a slow value and actually 0.1 is a faster value and 0.3 is a slower value. Okay, when our camera look speed is 0.1, the camera moves really fast from left to right. Alright, and when it is 0.3 it moves a little bit slower, and the same for the pivot speed. So you can test your own values as well, but if you are using the same script as mine then you are good to go. Alright, now create a float by name of camera look speed. This is gonna be equals to 0.1 by default. Then create another range, and then this will be the camera pivot speed. Alright, then we need a reference to the sliders as well. So for that we're gonna first of all add the reference to the camera look speed slider, and then to the camera pivot speed slider, and then we need to create a player pref key for it. So for the camera look speed it will be cam look speed, and for the pivot it should be cam pivot speed. So you can stop the game and type these things. Alright, after this let's go ahead and create a method in which we're gonna set the camera look speed and the camera pivot speed. Alright, so for that create a public void by the name of set camera look speed. It will need a parameter as a float, parameter of type float, and in here we're gonna set the camera look speed to whatever the value is. Then we're gonna store that in the player pref. So we will say player prefs dot set float, and we will say cam look speed pref key, then cam look speed, and then we're gonna use the player pref dot save keyword right down below. Alright, now let's do it for our camera pivot speed. So I'm gonna copy and paste that, and then this will be set cam pivot speed, and right here we will use the cam pivot speed, and whatever the value is it's gonna be equals to the cam pivot speed. Then in here we're gonna use the cam pivot speed pref key, and then the cam pivot speed, and that's it. Once you do this, now in the start method, actually since we are setting the minimum and maximum value manually, so we don't need these lines now. Alright, now let's write here first of all load the saved value if they exist, otherwise we will use the default mouse sensitivity. Alright, so we're gonna do the same as we did for our brightness. So we will first of all make the camera look speed. So for that we're gonna say player prefs dot get float cam look speed pref key, else the default sensitivity. Alright, let's do it for the camera pivot speed now. So player pref dot get float cam pivot speed pref key, otherwise the default. After this we need to set these values to our slider. So we'll say camera look speed slider dot value equals to camera look speed, and then camera pivot speed slider dot value equals to camera pivot speed. Then whenever we do any changes, we want to save them instantly. So for that, let me copy this and write down below, paste it 2 times, and right here instead of brightness slider we will say camera look speed slider dot on changed value at listener. We're gonna call this method set camera look speed. Alright, and for this one we're gonna use the camera pivot speed slider on value changed. Then we're gonna call this method. That is all you have to do for the mouse sensitivity. Alright, for storing the mouse sensitivity. For now we are just storing it, okay, and loading it on our main menu. Right now we are not loading this on our game, but don't worry, in the upcoming videos we're gonna load this on our game as well. So if you get back right here, click on main menu. Right here we need to provide the slider for the camera look. So the camera look is will be this mouse X slider, so drag and drop that, and for the pivot it is the mouse Y, so drag and drop that. And when you do it, then you can go ahead and play the game. And now you will notice when the game starts, actually we forgot to do one thing. Select the mouse X slider right here, change the minimum value to 0.1 and the maximum to 0.3. Alright, then mouse Y, it is 0.1 and 0.3. Alright, make sure that you do this on mouse X and mouse Y, then play the game. Here we are, click on options, controls, and now as you can see when we change it, it changed the value right there. If we select mouse X, change the value right here as well. Let me make it right here, both of these, which is 0.16, 0.16. Alright, stop the game, play the game again. You will notice that the value is 0.16 and 0.16. So it means it is saving and loading these values on our main menu. Now what we want to do, we want that whenever we press this new game button, we want to load our main scene. Alright, so for that let me stop the game and check this button right here. This is the button. Alright, if we open up this, as you can see, this is our new game button. So whenever we click it, we want to load our game scene. So in order to do that, get back right here on the main menu and at the top add using Unity Engine dot scene management. Since we are dealing with changing the scenes now, and then right at the bottom create a method by the name of load scene. It will take a string as a parameter by the name of scene name, and then we will say scene manager dot load scene and pass this scene name to it. Alright, once you do this, then you can get back right here and select the new game button. Okay, select this button, which is this new, and right here in this on click event, drag and drop the main menu script in there, and then from the main menu select the load scene. And as you can see, it now needs a string parameter, so for that we're gonna call this scene name, which is game. So right here I'm gonna type game. That is all you have to do. Then click on file, build settings, and make sure that in the build settings you first of all add the main menu scene and then the game scene. That's it. Then you can go ahead and play the game, and when the game starts you will notice that all of the values are stored, as you can see. Now if you click on start, then new game, and as you can see it loads the new game. Alright, we can walk around in the same manner, everything works perfectly fine. Okay, for now our cutscene is disabled, so that's why it didn't play the cutscene. Alright, and now what we want to do is we want to call that values from there to here. Okay, for example, we want to control the mouse sensitivity, which is this camera look speed and pivot speed. Alright, for example, right now it is 0.1 and 0.1. We don't want this to be 0.1. We now want this to be the same values which we provide in the main menu, and also we're gonna control the game brightness as well. So in the next video I'm gonna show you how you can do that. So now with this done, let's end this video right here.